So we have a couple of boards here, right? So we have the player board, the enemy board, and we have a simple menu over here that allows you to select the different board pieces and place them on the board. We have a timer, scorekeeper, and some basic instructions here. Anyway, let's go ahead and place this, guys, and you can change the orientation of the placement. Let's go ahead and see, right? You're placing the models. I'm gonna go ahead and place them in such a fashion. And notice that what's happening here, if there's any collision, it visually tells you that you can't place it there, buddy. Okay, so let's go ahead and just put a few of these things in here, and the last piece, uh, the aircraft carrier on this side. So when this is done, at the same time, the AI uh, places its pieces on the board. And what I'm going to show you guys is the following. If I actually go below the board, you would see the visual representation of how the AI placed its pieces onto the board. The purpose of this is for debugging. It doesn't actually need to be there, but it's a easy way for me to visually debug and make sure that everything's working the way it's supposed to. So right now is the player's turn. I also placed this handler over here. This would allow me to easily move the board, right? So you can position it in any direction you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and select a tile. And this is a turn-based game, right? So I made my selection, the computer makes its selection, right? The AI makes its selection. And the first initial things are random, right? Just like humans randomly pick a spot. And if you have a hit, then you can determine what's the next move, right? So the computer pretty much does the same thing. The AI does the same thing. It randomly goes ahead and selects the tiles. And if there is a hit, then it's going to use some logic to determine what would be the next move it wants to do, right? So let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and select this. I can actually move the main menu here, so it's nice and easy. By the way, the technology used here, of course, we use Unity 3D for the actual design and implementation of the whole scene, and we use Oculus Quest SDK, and we use MRTK3, right? So these are three different technology stacks combined together. Okay, so right now we are 7-7. We've been playing for 2 minutes. And I'm going to actually, maybe let's move the board like that, make it easier, right? So I have, let's see, maybe that part over there. So I'm 13, the computer is 9. It looks like I'm winning it. And probably this game I will win, right? Yes, I did. So 17-9. And yeah, this is pretty awesome actually. So if we get closer, you see that the quality is pretty nice and decent on these things. Again, I've been using a lot of very primitive graphics uh, for this demonstration. The purpose is not the actual graphics, but all of the different concepts that you need to understand and you will learn when you actually go through that whole exercise set. Um, so let's see. Let's turn this around. And again, this is a visual way of debugging exactly what's happening behind the scenes. They don't need to be there, but they are there for controlling and debugging your code and logic if there's a need. If I get close down to these models are not very complicated, but you can see that they're pretty good. We have some special effects. I did not include any sound effects. Maybe in the next update, I'll go ahead and do that. And also, um, probably give you guys the opportunity to split the boards and be able to move each one of the boards individually and each one of these pieces individually and have some more control over some of the visuals and options and etc. All right, so let's do a restart of the game. This clears out everything and you start over. Yeah, that's it. So hopefully this was pretty cool. This is deployed to Quest 3. It also works on the other Quest families, Quest 2 and Quest Pro. And of course, it's also compatible with HoloLens 2. Uh, Again, that's the way we build things here at NurCon. And enjoy. Have a good one.